Welcome to Life in 5, pro-life news that matters. I'm Hayley. Anneliese Holland is a 26-year-old woman from Adelaide. She suffers from an extremely rare autoimmune disease. Last week, Anneliese appeared on A Current Affair to share that she had been approved for voluntary assisted dying, and the response has been overwhelmingly one of celebration. And here is where we have to pause. Nobody is questioning the reality of Anneliese's suffering. It is heartbreaking and it is real what she has endured. But what is being celebrated here? A young 26-year-old woman is dying, and rather than our society rallying around her with every possible resource, every possible treatment, and every possible reason to keep fighting, we are applauding the decision to end her life as an act of courage and empowerment. She said herself, "I still wish for a future I'm never going to have." She wanted to try on a wedding dress. She watched her friends build careers, marriages, and families while she was stuck in a hospital. This is not someone at peace. That is someone who deserved more than the world around her. Where is the celebration for her courage in surviving? Where is the outrage that a 26-year-old felt her only option was death? Instead of asking hard questions about whether we are doing enough for the chronically ill and terminally diagnosed, we are handing them a way out and calling it dignity. That is not dignity. That is abandonment dressed up as compassion. Clive Johnson, a retired Irishman in his late 70s, has been convicted and fined after being found guilty of breaching a safe access zone outside Causeway Hospital in Coleraine on July 7, 2024. Under Northern Ireland's abortion services, it is prohibited to influence, prevent or impede access, or cause harassment, alarm, or distress to a protected person within 100 metres of a facility where abortions are performed. Clive was found guilty of influencing, and here's what that actually looked like. He read the Bible, he prayed, and he preached the love of God. He never once mentioned the word abortion. He is the first person ever charged under these laws without doing so. In his own words, it effectively redefines peaceful Christian witness as a form of unlawful influence. If simply reading the Bible, praying, and preaching on God's love can now be considered harmful because someone might overhear it within a certain area, then we have crossed a very serious line. Clive isn't alone. Scottish grandmother Rose Doherty was arrested twice for holding a sign offering conversation in a protected zone. The charges were later dropped. We also remember the woman who went viral for silently praying outside of an abortion clinic, inside her own head. So let's ask the real question. Who are these laws actually protecting? Because under this same act, the unborn baby with a beating heart inside that facility receives no protection whatsoever. A quiet prayer is a criminal offence, but what happens inside those walls are not. Here in Australia, Family First National Director Lyle Shelton spoke out after hearing about Clive Johnson's arrest in Northern Ireland. Lyle has renewed the party's commitment to fight for the reappeal of abortion buffer zone laws in New South Wales and Victoria, arguing the laws are being used to criminalise peaceful Christian witness and prayer. Lyle said, "The case of Clive Johnson shone a light on similar so-called safe access zones here, which inevitably become censorship zones." Lyle said, "If Australian laws allow Greens founder Bob Brown to chain himself to bulldozers to save trees, Christians should be free to stand peacefully outside facilities where unborn babies are killed and to offer prayer and compassionate support to women who are often coerced into aborting their baby." He said, "Family First opposes harassment, intimidation, and abuse of any person. Existing laws already deal with that. But peaceful prayer, preaching, and offers of help should never be threatened as criminal acts in a free society." What's happened to Pastor Johnson in Northern Ireland is chilling and could easily happen here under our flawed laws, he added. New South Wales and Victoria already have similar laws which severely restrict freedom of speech and freedom of religion within 150 metres of abortion facilities. In Victoria, pro-life advocate Kathy Clubb was fined $5,000 after politely attempting to hand a pamphlet to a couple outside of a Melbourne abortion clinic back in 2016. She became the first person prosecuted under the state's buffer zone laws. This is evidence that if we are not getting actively involved as pro-lifers, then we could very much end up the same as the UK.